You know, in business today, we are just drowning in data. It's everywhere. But the real trick, the million-dollar question, is how do you sift through all that noise and find one, just one, simple, actionable idea that can actually make you money? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. We're going to follow an analyst's journey step by step to see how they pull it off.
So that's the big question, right? How do you turn this absolute mountain of raw data into a single profitable idea? It feels impossible, but we're going to follow the breadcrumbs, tracking the exact steps an analyst takes from a mess of numbers to, well, a game-changing insight.
All right, so where does this journey start? Well, it's not with the cool, flashy dashboards you see in presentations. Nope, it starts with the hidden work, the stuff that happens behind the scenes, preparing the data. It might not be glamorous, but trust me, this is where the magic really begins.
Think of it this way. Every analysis starts with a mess. It's like a digital crime scene. The data is never clean. It's all over the place. Different spreadsheets, random files, tons of details you don't need. Before you can even think about finding the story, you've got to organize it all.
So what does that cleanup actually look like? Well, first the analyst has to play matchmaker. They combine different tables, connecting product data to sales data and sales data to the shops. Then they create new, super important metrics. For example, they'll calculate a profit column using the data they already have. And finally, it's all about tidying up, hiding the columns they don't need, renaming things so they make sense, and just like that, the mess becomes one clean, powerful data set. Now we're ready to start the investigation.
Okay, the data is ready to go. Now, the fun part begins. Our analysts can finally start hunting for clues. This is that first high-level look at the big picture, just scanning for anything, any pattern that looks a little interesting.
And what do they see? The first thing they pull up is a global sales dashboard. And right away, you can see these bright spots, these hot zones of high revenue. North America, parts of Europe. It looks like the company is absolutely crushing it there. But here's the thing. Raw revenue, it almost never tells the whole story. And this is where a great analyst earns their pay. They ask a smarter question. It's not just about who's bringing in the most cash. The real question is, where is the business most efficient? Where are they getting the biggest bang for their buck? Or to put it simply, where are they most profitable?
And bingo, there it is, our first major clue. Check this out. California brings in the most money overall, more than £4 million. But look at New York City. It's making a larger profit. We're talking £883,000 from way less revenue. New York City is punching so far above its weight. That's interesting. So now our analysts know exactly what to do. Forget the rest of the world for a minute. They're following this hot trail of profit, and it's leading them straight to New York City.
And just like a detective zooming in on a map, that's what they do with the data. They filter everything, so they're only looking at sales from this one high-performing city. Suddenly, all the other noise is gone. Now they can really dig in and see what makes New York tick.
And it doesn't take long. Almost immediately, a super clear pattern pops out. When you look at what's actually selling in New York, two things just fly off the shelves: coffee and sandwiches. In this super profitable market, they are the clear, undisputed champions. And this is the moment, right here. This is where a simple data point starts to transform into a real business idea. The analyst thinks, okay, any marketing we do here has to be about these two things. They even start brainstorming, maybe a hot drink and sandwich lunchtime offer. See how the data is already pointing to a real-world strategy?
But a great analyst doesn't stop there. We can go even deeper, because it's not enough to just know what's selling. The final, and honestly, the most valuable piece of this whole puzzle is figuring out who is buying it. That's the key. That's how you connect your best products to the right people.
So our analyst drills down one last time. They filter the data again, so now they're only looking at people in New York City who buy coffee and sandwiches. Then they slice that group up by some key demographics, like age and family size.
And after all that work, all that digging and filtering, it all comes down to this. One single number that tells a huge story. 38%.
Yep, 38%. A massive chunk of all the money made from coffee and sandwiches in New York comes from a very specific group of people, customers in their 30s and 40s with a family of 3 or 4. I mean, that's not just a customer segment anymore, right? That is a bullseye target audience.
And that discovery, that changes everything. That generic lunchtime idea, It gets transformed into a brilliant, laser-focused recommendation. The analyst knows the target audience is families. They also know that weekends are usually a bit slower. So the final pitch is perfect. How about a kids eat free offer with every adult coffee and sandwich order on Saturdays and Sundays? And there you have it. We went from a massive, messy mountain of data all the way down to one single, smart and super targeted idea.
Now think about that whole journey we just followed. That was a person, a skilled analyst, manually connecting all those dots. But you can probably guess where this is going. This kind of work is changing, and it's changing fast, all thanks to AI and machine learning.
And when it comes to this stuff, there are basically two main flavors of machine learning. First, you've got supervised learning. That's when you have a specific goal, like, hey, predict next month's sales for me. But then there's unsupervised learning. That's more exploratory. It's basically like telling the machine, here's all my data, go find something interesting. And that's actually a lot like what our analysts did when they first spotted that weirdly high profit in New York.
The thing is, these incredibly powerful AI tools are becoming easier for everyone to use. It's leading to this idea of citizen data science, where pretty much anyone can start digging for insights. But, and this is a big but, there's a fascinating risk that comes with it. As the tools get smarter and more complex, the chance that a person might misunderstand or misinterpret what the AI finds actually goes up. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on, right? Maybe the most important skill in the future won't be about finding answers in the data, but about knowing which questions are the right ones to ask in the first place.